I wanted to share with you my last trip to Korea because as I go along, I'd see things in Korea and I'd think, wow, that's interesting. Snap, I take a picture. 안녕하세요. This is Mark Peterson with the Frog Outside the Well Research Center, and today I have two guests you haven't met, and I'm anxious to introduce them to you. Here is Rebecca Youngs with an S on the end.
Yes, S on the end. Hello.
Are you a Korean major? Were you a Korean major?
I wasn't. I was an editing and publishing major, but I just took Korean courses.
And you never had a course from me.
Right, no.
But you were an assistant in some of our programs with Kyunghee University.
Yes.
And she's been a very good assistant. We hired you again and again. And you have a friend. Introduce your friend.
This is my friend Alicia.
Hi.
Yes, she is just starting to get into
Korean
culture, Korea.
Yeah.
You've never been to Korea, Alicia,
Never been. Very new.
but you like Korean drama.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Watched a couple. So.
Enthusiastic, yes.
Yeah.
That's good. And Rebecca has been to Korea 3 times.
Yeah.
And 1 time as a student for 9 months.
Yes.
And the most recent time, last
January.
January.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I wanted to share with you my last trip to Korea because as I go along, I'd see things in Korea and I'd think, wow, that's interesting. Snap, I take a picture. So I'm just going to show you some of these pictures that I took and get your response to
Okay.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
This first one, what is my friend doing? We're having kalbitang. And look, he's eating kalbi
cutting.
with scissors.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking, this is weird, you know, to eat food with scissors. Not only the kalbi, the kimchi, you cut it up with scissors. Now, is that strange?
That is a little strange.
I think that's really strange.
Yeah.
And then there's one more. This is cutting up the other kind of kimchi, the kaktuki. Ribs and 2 kinds of kimchi, cutting up with scissors. Now, I don't know, but I think Korea might be the only country in the world that eats food with scissors at the table.
So when I went to Korea, first time having like servers bring out scissors like with your meal and everything, and it was super awkward for me to try and use like scissors at first in like one hand, but after being in Korea for a while, I actually really like this. Like they're actually very useful, and so now that I'm here, I'm like, why don't they use scissors? Like
Yeah,
if it's too big,
innovative.
just cut it.
Well, you know, it hasn't always been that way in Korea. It's only been in recent years, I can't tell you when, that they started putting scissors on the table. It used to be that, you know, in the back they cut up food with the scissors.
Really?
But anyway, I think that's just really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense if you ever had too big of meat in a soup and then you're trying to somehow cut it, but you really only have a spoon, so you're...
Yeah.
And you can't get it out and put it on a plate and cut it with a knife, so you just chop it up with scissors.
Yeah, I love it.
Incredible, isn't it? We're having a nice meat meal, and I look down and see the mushroom. And look at that.
Oh my word!
It has a brand. It's put
Like the branding.
the name of the restaurant with a branding iron on the mushroom. And I asked the waitress about it. Does everybody do this these days? She said, no, just our restaurant.
Oh, funny.
So, I mean, isn't that quirky?
That is so
Yeah,
fun.
actually, that's really funny.
And the name of the restaurant is the Tom-won restaurant. It says Hanjeongshik, Korean food,
Yeah.
Okay.
high-class Korean meal.
Did they do it for every mushroom that they brought out?
I
Or just, like,
suppose. No, not every mushroom. Just one.
like one mushroom in the whole bunch.
One mushroom per serving.
That's so funny.
So, okay, here's another thing I kind of like. What do you see here? What strikes you as interesting here?
The lights. At the
Yeah,
crosswalk.
the green light for the pedestrians
Yeah.
is here on the ground. So, you know, the streets are big and it's kind of far across. It might be foggy. Maybe it's cold and your glasses are fogged up. It help you to see. They put the green stripe
That
here.
is so cool.
Now, and then when it's red, it's red.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now, is that, you know, safety-minded and innovative or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so nice. What does it do when the time is running out for the crosswalk? Is it
I didn't
red?
see that it blinked or anything. I think it just
okay.
goes from red to green,
Okay.
which is a little bit of a problem because, you want to have enough time to cross.
Right.
And I think all the major crossings now have a countdown ticker on it.
Okay, yeah.
And I heard a story that there was a Korean man who lost his son in a crossing. The son
my
crossed
gosh.
too late and the light changed and he got hit.
Wow.
And so he has been on a campaign to make sure every intersection has a countdown
Right.
thing on it. And this one did
Yeah.
as well. Now, what do you see here? This is an
Oh,
umbrella.
the little umbrella.
And in the heat of summer, it gives you a chance to rest a
Cool
little bit
down.
before you cross the street while you're
Yeah.
waiting for the red light.
Mhm.
And in the monsoon season, it's raining cats and dogs. It gives you a chance to
Yeah.
take it easy.
Yeah, that's so nice. There's nothing
Yeah.
like that
Isn't
here.
it incredible?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
smart.
I'm just taking pictures of this kind of stuff that just
Okay.
Yeah.
struck me. There's nothing to see here except if you've got eyes to see. These people are lined up to ride on the bus. Years ago when I was in Korea, people didn't line up for the bus. They all just sort of crowded in. And there was a concept back then that I'm high class, you're low class, I've got to get in first. Or you're high class, you think I'm low class, you're going to get in first. And there's a sort of this crowding mentality. Korea's completely changed now where they queue up nice and even for the buses. This is no big deal to anybody else, but as I see this, I thought, wow, Korea
That's a
has changed.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it similar when it's really crowded during a rush hour
Yeah,
or
yeah.
business hours?
And sometimes there are 3 or 4 buses that'll come in and each one will have its own queue.
Wow, that's so nice.
It really is. Koreans queue up all the time now. It's just unbelievable. This is the kind of thing, again, safety. These are safety doors in the subway. In Korea, they just put these in maybe the last 2-3 years. I was in a subway, I think just last winter, where they were just completing one stop. But I think all the stops are all completed now.
Yeah.
Even outdoor stops will have these safety doors up. So it's not just the train coming in, but there's a safety door that opens. And now all the subways in Korea are like this, all of them.
That's so cool.
So it's really a safety measure. It used to be, you see the yellow stripe, it used to be don't stand
Yeah, don't
forward
cross
of the
that.
yellow stripe.
Yeah.
Because the trains are going to come rumbling in.
Yes.
Now you've got these safety doors.
That's
And I think it's because some drunks fell off into the train.
Mm-hmm.
There have been some suicides in front of the train.
Yeah.
And there have been some murders. I don't know in Korea, but there was a murder in New York a while back.
It happens
Yeah.
in the U.S., yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Sure.
the trains comes rumbling in and,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Charlie. Here is New York.
Yeah.
That's just like wildly different.
Yeah. Alicia, where are you from?
I'm from Colorado, but I spent 2 years living in Chicago
Oh.
riding the trains.
So you know the big
yes,
city.
Yeah.
And you're from Michigan.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan.
Podunk town or big town?
Nice suburb.
Suburb of what city?
Uh,
Detroit?
suburb of Detroit.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the big city too.
Yes.
Okay. Here's New York. The trains are right there.
Yeah.
And the only door that opens is the door on the train.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's busy like that,
Yeah.
yep.
It can
That's
be
wild.
really hectic. So this is not atypical. This is New
That's
York.
like everyday rush
Every day.
hour.
Yeah.
It turns out that New York is talking about putting up subway safety barriers.
Oh, okay.
And here's one showing an outdoor thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in Korea, an outdoor thing like this would have walls up with the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all the trains stop in the right place, so they open the right doors, and it's just perfectly programmed.
Yeah.
But Seoul, and I think Busan and Daegu that have subways, I think they've all got these safety doors now.
Well, I thought about it all the time. And even my dad, when I went to go live there, he said, stand back further than you think, just in case.
Just in case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is inside a New York subway.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think the Korean subways were crowded. Look at the space between the people sitting down. And look at the Korean subway.
That's actually so much wider.
It's incredible. And I never thought that these subway trains were big, but look how huge they are compared to the New
Yeah.
York subway. You're almost knee to
Yeah,
knee with
that's
the people
tight.
across. And how do people stand and hold on to that thing in the middle?
Oh,
Yeah.
This is Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you ever go out in the suburbs? Did you live in the suburbs?
I would go out, but I've taken a train like that.
Have you? Well, these double-decker trains, they look really nice and modern, but to my eyes, they're 1950. These are 1950 trains. And you get inside them, they're double-decker, but they're not really double-decker. You walk through the middle, but the double deck is up shoulder height on each side.
Yep.
Oh my
So you have double seats on the bottom.
Yeah.
Look how old those seats are. And up above, you've got just single seats with a little aisleway you can walk by.
Oh.
And so if you want to sit by yourself and you want to, rub shoulders with a stranger, you go on the upper deck and you can sit, but it's not really an upper deck. And they've got this grating here, so you can't jump down into the lower deck as if anyone would want to. So to me, it's 1950s.
Yep,
This is
I've
the
used
Chicago
that.
trains. Where, this is 1950. You get on the train, you buy a ticket like this, and then the conductor comes through,
Yep.
and he punches it just the right buttons. You know, the A, the
Yeah.
6, the 5, showing exactly where you got on and where you're going to get off and how
Yeah.
much you have to pay. That's ridiculous compared to the Korean
Yeah.
system, where you have like a credit card thing you can use or a key fob you can use to buzz you in and buzz you out. And when you get on, it tells you how much is left on your card. When you get off, it tells you how much is thick and how much is left on your card. And you think, oh, I got to go put some more money on the card. It's very easy, very
Yeah.
nice. Oh, and it's true for subways and buses and taxis.
Oh, and taxis. Okay, because in the city in Chicago, they have the cards for,
Oh, do
for
they?
trains and buses.
Up to date.
Yeah. But if you're going out to the suburb, it's still the
Oh.
burner
The
card.
paper
Yeah.
little slip.
Do the trains still have the punch card?
Yep.
Do they really?
They do. Yeah.
1950.
We used to buy them for like 30 people, and we'd have a card, and they would come and punch the 30 tickets out. Yeah.
That is so primitive. It's
Yeah.
so funny. Welcome to America, a primitive country. How many American subway lines have a safety door? None. And how many of the safety doors have poetry?
Oh my gosh.
None. Yeah, that I know of.
You're
Yeah.
standing there waiting for the train. You may as well be inspired by a little bit of poetry.
Yeah,
Yes.
agreed.
And there are a couple of lines that have it. Not all of them do, but a couple of lines are
Okay.
famous for having. Here's a poem called
So
Love.
cute.
You sit there and read this poem. And
That is so interesting.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so
Now I call this
nice.
Quirky Korea, and that's a little bit quirky, but people may not understand the word quirky. I use it in a very positive way.
Mhm.
If someone said I was quirky, I'd be kind of complimented because it means I'm not a standard run-of-the-mill
Yeah,
kind of guy. I
yeah.
do things a little bit interestingly and a little bit differently. So I don't mean quirky in a negative way at all, but this is a little bit quirky,
Mhm.
putting poetry out. Now here's the thing, where you go to a computer terminal in the middle and you pick your locker and you put your stuff in the locker. This is at the library. And after you get to the library, you put your backpack or whatever in the locker, but you've got papers and books you need to take to the stacks to do your research. So you pick up an extra plastic bag and you put your papers
Oh,
in there.
wow.
You don't have to carry your papers in your hand. You have a nice
Nice.
little extra bag and it's transparent. They can see it's just papers in there. This is like the elevator of the hotel I was in. Look,
Okay.
no buttons.
Oh.
Does
So
it stop
how
at
do
every
you?
floor?
No,
Okay.
it stops on your floor, and so you have your pass when your
Yeah.
room key, your card, and you go up to a thing, a terminal, and you put your thing on it, and it knows you're on the 10th floor. And when you put it there, it'll beep and it'll say take elevator number 4.
Hmm.
And you look at elevator number 4, and beep, a light comes on, and it's for you.
Interest. Oh my goodness.
And usually nobody else. But if it's
Right.
busy, then they'll double up. And so it's very scientific and
Yeah.
cost efficient, so you don't have to stop on every floor.
Can't get like an elf moment where he
just like
does
all
the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a Christmas tree.
So I'm walking down the road in a country place, going to a friend's house who has a remodeled old home into a new style home. And I'm walking down the road and I see this.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world is this?
Yeah.
bath.
Yeah, here's a truck that stopped in this country home,
Uh-huh.
and it's got doors that open up, and you look inside, and here's a place where an older person can lay down and on this thing and get scrubbed. And I asked about it. That's for senior citizens to give them a bath once a week.
Wow.
And I thought, well, why don't we have something like this in America? Well, I think we do have senior services where they'll come to your home and help you,
Right.
but your home has a bathtub.
Mhm.
Old Korean homes didn't have a bathtub. You'd go to the bathhouse. And here they're bringing the bathhouse to the people.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a real wow. That's amazing, isn't it? That-
Yeah.
I didn't realize they didn't have
That's interesting.
baths.
Now, since we're on bathrooms, you don't know about this, but In the boys' bathroom, there's a thing called a urinal.
Right.
Oh.
The thing that
Oh,
struck me
shocking.
about this is, look here, next to the urinal,
A little umbrella holder.
it's got an umbrella phone.
Hey.
And I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
I love that it's specifically labeled for an
Like for
umbrella.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, when it's rainy season.
they have the best coin-operated system now because it's not coin-operated; it's off a credit card.
Oh, that
And you
is
go
so
to the
nice.
headquarters
Yeah.
there, and you select your machine, and it tells you which ones are open, and you can do your wash, and it all has soap in it.
Wow.
Oh,
You don't have to add your own soap. The soap
Oh,
is
wow.
administered automatically.
that's how it should be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, think how
Yeah.
primitive we are. You go to the laundromat. Oh, I
got your
forgot to bring the soap,
quarters
and you got all
and
these
got your-
quarters.
And the quarters are so hard to find.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I also love that there's places to sit and study.
Yeah, and you can sit in the study
books
and snack and
Actually looks nice.
name a
Yeah.
laundromat in America where you'd like to sit and have a snack.
Yeah.
Not ones I've been to.
They're pretty grungy
Maybe
as a general
they're
rule.
out there, but
Yeah, exactly.
haven't been there.
Exactly.
No.
So this picture down here is how this place looks.
Oh.
But they're remodeling this old house. This was a grand old house of the Yoon family. And here are the various wings of it. And I was just so impressed. Now, it turns out that the Yoon family, they'd never have enough money to repair this house. This is a lot of money. Fortunately, the government gets behind it because these are classic old buildings and they're supporting them, which I think is really a wonderful thing. Well, I was looking down this alley, and that's not what I saw. This is what I saw down the alley. Rebecca, with all your experience in Korea, you probably don't have an idea what this is.
No, I don't think I do.
You know what that symbol there is? The swastika.
Yeah.
That's Buddhism,
Yeah.
right? This is not Buddhism. It's Buddhist-like. This is shamanism. This is a shaman saying, hey, here I am.
Really?
If you got troubles, your
Mm-hmm.
marriage ain't working out, your children aren't studying well,
Yeah.
health,
Yeah.
you need a little spiritual help, you go see the shaman. And so it struck me in this modern setting, a 50-story apartment complex.
And you have
Down at the bottom, you got
shamanism
this
there at the bottom.
Old shaman. I saw this bags and belt shop, and it's named Arlen. Well, two things. Koreans can't say Arlen because an R and an L turns into a double L. It'd be pronounced Arlen. The Shilla dynasty is an indication of that.
Yeah.
The Shilla is an N and an R, and it comes out L.
Oh.
That's a trick about Korean, okay?
Yeah.
Well, when I saw this, I had to take a picture because my middle name is Arlen.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
really?
really?
And I thought, oh, my shop.
So
That's
fun.
so fun.
Yeah. And so I'm going to tell friends I've got a shop in Korea. I named that the middle name, and I'm making a lot of money out of it.
Yes.
Okay, that was my trip through Korea this last time.
That's
That's so
fun.
fun.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that fun?
Yeah, that was fun.
Quirky things that struck my eye
Yes.
as different and odd. So you're new to Korea. This is
Yes.
sort of bringing you in on the
Yeah.
radical fringe. You need to learn the basics first. But
Right.
This is what I thought was interesting.
But it seemed like a lot of things that I would love to have here in America too. So
Yeah.
in the US.
A lot
Well,
of innovation.
America might catch up.
At some point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the frog outside the well for today. And thanks, Rebecca and Alicia,
Yes.
for coming in and sharing this time with me today.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
See you next time. Bye.